Okay, abusunya be makwa abashonko so edeba POG Media so. JeanMensah aba release the press conference our babonten abe congratulate Elikplim Akurugu as dome kwabenya winner enye easy kra. Intino sisia no JeanMensah aba bonten aso Elikplim Akurugu ensa declare ne se ono na awe ne dome kwabenya seat. Na busunya myembo nwrem na yenkonkoti sa press conference no. Na asa na ebeko no or and some can be a fashion the comment section like na share my phone so answer into me and can be aha POG Media so madam I say
okay. Okay. So good afternoon, our friends in the media. Good afternoon, directors. Good afternoon, chairperson. Good afternoon, party representatives. My name is James Zachariah Kofi, the returning officer for Dominican Kwabenya constituency. Just like the chairperson has said, we have arrived at the final result of Dominican Kwabenya parliamentary election. On the face of the page sheets, we have Michael Aaron Yao Okwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes, 50669. Akurugu Faustina Elikplim polled 50,967 votes, 50967. Dora Nyako polled 220 votes, that is 220. And Remy Parko Edmondson polled 302, that is 302. The total valid votes 102,158, 102,158. The total rejected ballots 624, that is 624. The total vote cast, that is 102,782, that is 102,782. Now, with the power invested in me as the returning officer for Dominican Kwabenya constituency, and in the presence of the returning officer for the presidential election, I declare Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim as the MP elect for Dominican Kwabenya. Thank you.
I think you hold it up. That's what you do. Do your way.
Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim, I declare, yes, by the power invested in me as a returning officer, I declare Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim as the MP elect for Dominican Kwabenya constituency. Thank you.
On the 21st of December. Unfortunately, although we came a long way, we were not able to complete it because there were 3 polling station pink sheets outstanding. In our second attempt to complete the process, we again brought together the parties, mainly, basically the NDC and the MPP, and with their agents to assist us to bring the collation to a completion to enable us to declare the outcome of the election. That collation was held on the 28th, just this past Saturday, the 28th of December. At that meeting, the NDC was able to provide 2 pink sheets which was confirmed by our staff at the constituency. Unfortunately, there was a missing pink sheet, one pink sheet for the Abukobi Women's Training Center. And both the NDC and the NPP did not have these sheets. It's important to note that the NPP did not have any pink sheets, any of the 3 pink sheets at all. But after scrutinizing the pink sheets presented by the NPP, they were found to be legitimate, and they tallied with what we had also found. The missing link was this polling station sheet, which none of the parties had, and it was for the Abukobi Women's Training Center. It's important to note that in the attempts to recollate, our officer had brought a pink sheet for the Abukobi Women's Training Center, but it bore on the face of it training. It had written on the face of it the word training, and it was a presidential pink sheet. And so, in the view of the commission, a training pink sheet had no business at the polling station on election day, and upon scrutinizing it, the commission was of the view that it could not be accepted. It's important to note that the parties also did not have any evidence. Both NDC and MPP did not have the pink sheets to confirm whether what was written on the training sheet was legitimate and was accurate. And so in the view of the commission and in the interest of fairness, the commission felt that it was proper to rerun the election for that particular polling station to ensure fairness. We have always maintained as a commission that it is not our interest, is not to make anybody a president. And this is something we have said across board to all our officers. Our interest is to conduct credible and transparent elections that are fair, that ensure that the will of the people as expressed at the polls is upheld. And so once none of the parties had any pink sheets to confirm, and they both said they didn't have it, we agreed at that meeting that we should have a rerun. It's important to note that at that meeting, the NDC agreed with the idea to have a rerun. The MPP was of the view that they did not have, because their agents had left the center, they had not taken part in the collation, and therefore they wanted the commission to start the collation afresh. We explained to them that the commission had received all the pink sheets, and I think that was 369, I believe, 369 polling stations, and we had cross-checked that against what had been done by the returning officer, and it was accurate. It was just that one missing, and that is why we took the decision to have a rerun. And this, as I said, was agreed to by the NDC. Since then, we have not rested on our oars, and we've tried to unearth and unravel how we came by. In all of this, as you may be aware, we had reached out to the returning officer and our district officer, but we did not have any explanation for the use of the training sheet. What they had said was the presiding officer realized at the point of filling the form that what she had was a presidential pink sheet, and therefore she used a presidential training sheet. It didn't add up. It was not convincing. And so 2 days ago as a commission, in our investigation, we had the light bulb moment that why don't we really do away with all the party agents at the collation center, because they have not been able to provide us the information we need. Why don't we go to the ground? Rather than deal with collation agents at the collation center, why don't we identify, look out for the agents, the polling agents at the Abukobi Training Center? And so we took steps. We reached out to the parties, and we were able to do that. The PO was out of town. We were able to also reach her and ask her to come, return back to Accra to answer a few questions. This morning we met with her, and she explained to us how she arrived at the training. She arrived at using the pink sheet for presidential training with training embossed on it. It's important to note that she did not have this training sheet with her on election day. And it's also important to note that contrary to what is being peddled in the news, though that training sheet was not signed by party agents. The question has been asked that, oh, it's the EC sheet, why are they not using it? Training sheets have no place at the polling station, and that's why we are not using it. It was not a parliamentary pink sheet, polling, even training, it was presidential, and it was not signed by any of the party agents. What she has explained is that, as I mentioned, she recognized that she did not have the parliamentary pink sheet, she had the presidential. And so she tallied everything on paper. She had both agents of the NPP and the NDC confirm the figure, and they decided, they agreed to go to the collation center to obtain a copy of the parliamentary pink sheet. Once there, they were informed to go to the district office. On their way there, unfortunately, they were accosted by some thugs who threatened their lives, and in the process, she fled. The good news is that she had the sheet in her bag, but she fled. And she says that the agents also dispersed and they all left. And so none of them had the results. She had it on a sheet. I'm happy to note, however, that the parties, although we did not have a pink sheet for parliamentary signed and completed at that level, each party also had their own tally cards. And on that tally sheets, they have the number of persons who came through. They had all the details, including the results, the total for each political party. And we have received that of the NPP. Although they are not present here, the presiding officer, some days after the election, reached out to the agents, the party agents, and the agents for the NPP sent his copy. And we've seen that we have the evidence and their communication. And it tallies that of what our presiding officer had on the training sheet. We have also met with the NDC, agent, and we've also taken a record of his tally sheet, which also contains the number of people who came to the center and the votes for each of the parties, and they tally. And that has enabled us to arrive at a completion today. So today, the Commission is pleased to note that it has brought proceedings and collation at the Bawumia constituency to a close. It has gone full circle. And we are convinced, without a shadow of doubt, that the outcome reflects the will of the people as expressed at the polls. I think that yes. So as mentioned, ours is not to make anybody president. It is to ensure that our outcomes and our processes guarantee that the people's choice is upheld. So we're happy to note that we have come full circle today, and the outcome of that election has been confirmed as being legitimate, as being the choice of the people. I think at this point, it is not in my place to make that declaration, and I'll hand over to our MC to take over and to let proceedings continue. Thank you. So we'd like to thank you. We know it's been a long road. I was blaming, I think that the lesson in it is that our processes must be allowed to work. I know that the candidate has been through quite a bit, but the processes must be allowed to work. And I like to also place on record that we don't rest on our oars here. And we're burning the midnight oil to ensure that, the right thing is done. And we're pleased that, we had that flash, that light bulb movement to go down, to drill down to the ground. And that has brought out the truth. And the truth will be upheld. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Madam. At this point, we would like to call the returning officer.
Did I need anything else?
Mr. James Kofi. And we also like to invite close to the returning officer. So first, I'll hand over the mic to Mr. James Kofi. Zakaria Kofi to do the declaration, and then the symbolic aspects will be done by.
Let's see your face.
You can get up to stand. Stand up. Yeah, stand up. Yes.
Then you should move. You want him to?
You want him to use it. Okay.
Okay. So good afternoon, our friends in the media. Good afternoon, directors. Good afternoon, chairperson. Good afternoon, party representatives. My name is James Zakaria Kofi, the returning officer for Dominican Kwapenya constituency. Just like the chairperson has said, we have arrived at the final result of Dominican Kwapenya parliamentary election. On the face of the pin sheets, we have Michael Aaron Yao Okwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes, 50669. Akurugu Faustina Elikplim polled 50,967 votes, 50967. Dora Nyako polled 220 votes, that is 220. And Remy Parko Edmondson polled 302, that is 302. The total valid votes 102,158, 102,158. The total rejected ballots 624, that is 624. The total vote cast, that is 102,782, that is 102,782. Now, with the power invested in me as the returning officer for Dominican Kwapenya constituency, and in the presence of the returning officer for the presidential election, I declare Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim as the MP elect for Dominican Kwapenya. Thank you.
I thought you hold the hand. That's what you do. Do your way.
Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim, I declare, yes, by the power invested in me as a returning officer, I declare Madam Akurugu Faustina Elikplim as the MP elect for Dominican Kwapenya constituency. Thank you.
Okay, abusuya sisia no eye Elikplim Akurugu na JeanMensah asonensa se ono na awene eye general elections no e wo do me kwabenya medamase.